Well, it's been a mess sort of year, and honestly, I'm pretty sure that if only I had managed to lock in, I would have been able to do more stuff and build more projects. But here we are. Thanks to Tech Twitter, I spent a fair bit of time refining my programming skills and building projects. Also started learning Java, C++ and Go, more or less because I wanted to build cool stuff. Since I want to get into cybersecurity and low-level programming, I decided to dedicate most of my time solving labs and capture the flag challenges this year. And as you can see, that has inversely affected my standings in competitive programming by a large margin, which is something I plan to work on in the coming year. I had a data structures and algorithms course this semester, along with an object-oriented programming course, which has generally helped me to get better at programming. For a couple of months, I also got into the Android custom ROM scene and learned things such as the AB partition scheme, TWRP backups, and the basics of how to port Android to a device. My pen testing suite has seen some new additions this year. I already know how to use Nmap, WPScan, Fuff and GoBuster. John and Hashcat keep coming up every now and then in CTF, so it's not really a problem to learn them. It's just a problem of reading their documentations. But this year I also managed to get proficient at Hydra, Wireshark, Netcat, and dabbled a bit with reverse engineering with Ghidra. Metasploit and Burp Suite are still a work in progress. Moving on to projects, I worked on Drunken, which is a tool that builds target-specific password lists by modeling real human behavior. It takes in profiles of people connected to the target, uses names, affiliations, phrases, and numbers to generate likely password components. It also computes the closeness score roughly based on an algorithm that uses the Euclidean distance principle to prioritize which person's data should generate passwords first. This helps in ranking the passwords on the probability of success and is generally more effective for real-world password attacks than say brute forcing 8 billion passwords from rockyou.txt. I also built Nazgul, which is a prototype command and control botnet that relies on the IRC protocol for communication. It is built using Python's sockets and subprocess modules and provides the basic functionality of a botnet. It makes bots listen on a specific IRC channel and execute commands when the operator sends them. It also has mechanisms built for rate limiting since most IRC servers will ban you for spamming too much. Next up is Eleanor, which is a minimalistic markdown based static site generator. It supports syntax highlighting, k-tex and front matter. And it also supports 22 classless CSS themes and is complete enough to host its own documentation. The compiler gods had decreed that I would follow in their footsteps and build something that resembles a small programming language. So I built a logo REPL with a custom tokenizer and a parser. The parser constructs and validates the simple abstract syntax tree, and my greatest achievement in this was supporting repeat blocks, which has a very complicated recursive implementation. The tokenizer and parser were written in TypeScript and then bundled as a single file, while I switched back to good old JavaScript for drawing on the canvas. For my future plans, I'm currently working on a URL shortener that provides analytics for each link. It's mostly inspired by iplogger.org and the browser exploitation framework, and I fully intend to do evil things with it. Unfortunately, it requires for me to be good at Go, which is why progress has been slow. I'm also working on a chip 8 emulator in C and relib, currently done implementing the stack, the registers and the display for it, although those might need some work later. Getting better at full stack is also a no-brainer since one does not simply get into cybersecurity without climbing the corporate ladder. Also planning to write research papers, get into low-level programming, apply for an internship, get fit, get social, and take a lot of photos. That's a lot of stuff. I'm Jack's cold sweat.